Time now for another Coach's Corner. I'm here with head soccer coach Matt Kellogg as we kick off the 2016-17 campaign. Coach, going into fourth year here, just kind of give us an update on where you guys are as a program. I know you had a great start last year and you're probably looking to really build on that here for this season.
Yeah, you know, this is, like you said, Mitch, it's our fourth year. I feel that we really have the parts and pieces in place to really make a run at doing some damage in the Big Sky Conference. You know, we were very, very heavy on the freshmen last year, and the good thing about the freshmen is they become sophomores.
Yeah.
You know, so they have that experience under their belt. They're not nearly as nervous. They have some game savvy, and they know what to expect. You know, and then we have a great group of seniors this year that have really come through in terms of leadership and, you know, just really creating that clubhouse culture.
Let's recap what you've done here in the fall. You've been on campus just under 3 weeks and a couple exhibition games under the belt as well, losing 2-0 to Manitoba, and then on Tuesday, a 2-1 win over St. Cloud State. You mentioned after that game, Coach, that you did some different lineups in the back and tried to experiment with some things. How did things go with that experiment?
Well, you know, on the scoreboard against Manitoba, obviously a 2-0 loss, so that's not what you want to see. But from a coaching staff perspective, we were really excited because we finally got to see our group against a live opponent, and really got to work with our pairings. You know, who are going to play up top, which group of three, who's going to work the best in the midfield, and then even center back, because we have a lot of players that are capable of doing the job. So now to see them, you know, it's one thing to see them in training, but it's a whole nother ball of wax to kind of see them against a live opponent. And we liked what we saw, and then we took it a step further. We wanted to feel like NFL coaches this preseason, so we actually scripted out our entire substitution for the entire 90 minutes of Tuesday's game against St. Cloud.
Okay. So. You feeling good about how things kind of concocted in the laboratory, putting the mad scientist pieces together?
Yeah, you know, we just got to make sure that we remember to write down the recipe next time to recreate that. But no, you know, coming out of preseason, I feel we're just about there. You know, there's always going to be a couple things because we had a couple kids injured that maybe weren't allowed to play as many minutes as we'd want them to. We just had to make sure that we took it easy on them the last week of preseason. But going into this first weekend, we feel like we have a really good picture and a really good grasp of the combinations that are going to work well.
You start the season Friday against Northern Iowa. Give us a quick preview of how tough that game will be, a team that beat you 2-0 last year.
Well, it's going to be tough because they have a whole new coaching staff.
Okay. So
they return, you know, the same players, that blue collar mentality that they're going to fight to the end. So you know you're going to get that, and you know, we have a lot of respect for their coaching staff. The head coach was a member of NDSU. You know, I've gotten to pick his brain, he picks my brain, and you know, met him on the coaching recruiting circuit, if you will. A lot of respect for that staff and what they're capable of doing. You know, so it's going to be one of those. Yeah, we've played them the last 2 years in a row, and you know, you want to say we know how they're going to play, but it's a whole new staff. You know, they're going to implement a whole new offensive system. So it's going to be one of those kind of things where you got to be ready for anything.
That's the start of kind of a rough stretch here at the beginning, Coach. You have a one home game. You go on the road for 3. You go at South Dakota. You get Minnesota on the 26th and Omaha the 28th. Not really a way to, you know, introduce cupcakes into the system. You can throw them right to the fire, don't you?
Well, that's what you have to do because our conference in the Big Sky is so demanding. Not only the teams we play, but just the travel.
Yeah.
You know, everything's a flight, even between some of the games, you're flying between them. So it's a grueling season, and we want to make sure that we're ready for that right away. So what better way than to get them on the road? You know, the nice thing is that sets up well is really it's almost like a day trip to South Dakota because we do play here on Friday. They're going to sleep in their beds on Friday night, and then we head on the road on Saturday. You know, next weekend, Minnesota, Nebraska, Omaha, obviously a Big Ten opponent. Minnesota's done well the last few years. Yeah. Nebraska, Omaha is always in the thick of things in their conference, so you don't want to overlook anybody. But I think the way we've set it up, it's favorable for us with Minnesota being first the closer of the two, and then we can turn around and, depending on what happens on Friday, still get up to play Nebraska-Omaha on Sunday.
Looking forward to a good season. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you much, Mitch.
Head coach Matt Kellogg. Come out and check his squad this Friday, 4 o'clock, Bronson Field here in Grand Forks.